Hello heathens, and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen, and my channel is dedicated to the exploration of paganism through multiple mediums. Sometimes I do readings, sometimes I do ritual work, and sometimes I delve into the educational information through the medium of cosmetics. A lot of heavy stuff is going on right now, so I'm trying to keep the channel somewhat light. And it's not just the pandemic stuff, it's other things as well. But the decks that I wasn't supposed to get until May 10th arrived today. This whole situation with Amazon just makes me chuckle, because it really is like, yeah, you're not going to get that item for 3 weeks, and the next thing is like, just kidding. And that's not mine, by the way. Somebody else said that on Twitter today, and I was like, oh, man, that is so accurate. Just kidding. Go outside and check. It's there. But in front of me are 3 very different decks than the ones that I already have. This one, it's going to take me time to learn how to use it effectively. These are karma cards, and it uses astrology in order to give you guidance. So I will use these eventually, but it's going to take me a while to get a handle on them. The next deck is Postcards from Spirit, which I will likely use in another reading. I don't know if I'll use them this week, but they're very interesting cards. I have to kind of air them out and allow them to shuffle correctly, because right now they're kind of sticking together. So I'm actually going to take those out of the box and let them get some air. So hopefully I can do that. I don't know that I'll use them this week, but I just wanted to show you what I got. And those 2 are very different. So is this one. This one is the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And it predominantly highlights animals who are critically endangered, which I really like. It doesn't entirely, like, here's a swan, snow leopard, jaguar, sea turtle, any that might be on the endangered species red list. But this is the deck that I'm thinking of using today. I'll keep the book to the side. I figured I would do a pick-a-card today. And the pick-a-card I will be doing is, what aspect of shadow work do you need to most focus on first? And when I was looking up cards and decks that would be good for the shadow work aspect, this was one of them. And when I just sat here and went through the cards real quick, I couldn't help but agree with that sentiment, because it is a very different deck. It is not something that necessarily delves into the lighter side of things, but it does give some pretty good insight. So let's see what we can do today. And I'm going to keep this as short as I can, so we are not doing 8 cards tonight. That's not happening. I will do 4. So, 2. Aspect of shadow work. Do people need to most focus on right now? Okay. So as always, I'm going to shuffle and deal out 4 cards. Put that to the side for now. So there's the 4 cards. Feel free to pause it here and select a card if you want to do so without a crystal. Okay. And now I will put on crystals. We have Celestite, Herkimer diamond, Amethyst, and Rainbow Moonstone. So I'll give you a moment to pick your card. And if you're struggling to pick a card, try closing your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then try looking once more. But with that, on to the readings. Okay, Celestite, this one is for you. Let us see which aspect of shadow work is something that you need to work on first. And most importantly, observation. So it could very well be that in observation with the peregrine falcon, you may be having difficulty delving into the self-reflection aspect of things and maybe removing your own ego or self-perception from the equation of getting down into the depths of things. So let me look up peregrine falcon and see what it says. Okay. Take a step back and simply observe a situation. Listen and watch before you decide on a course of action, as acting rashly will not serve you in your current situation. You are being supported by powerful forces. Do not fear. You are protected. Oops, sorry. Tap the over the desk bracket, but let's see. Psychic Tarot is drawing me today, so let's get more into this. What aspect of shadow work does group 1 need assistance with? sometimes when I think I'm done shuffling one way, all of a sudden I feel like it's not quite done yet. So that's why it took me an extra second. Okay. Transformation. So perhaps you're having difficulty phasing into the transformative phase, which completely makes sense. It takes time. Have patience with yourself. Okay. So we have observation, transformation, sacrifice, triumph, light, and authority. It almost seems to me like you're not allowing yourself to surrender to this process. That's kind of the sense that I'm getting from these cards, at least initially. Almost like fear is getting in your way, and the ability to go into things and look at things objectively is causing an issue. It looks like you have real world pressures, real world things maybe in the way with authority. It could be job, it could be real life pressures such as family. Perhaps you're trying to focus on children. All of these things can make delving into shadow work a bit of a challenge, because there's so many distractions and so many real world responsibilities pulling at you. It could also very well be fear, where light is here. That kind of indicates to me that the thought of doing shadow work might actually be scaring you. And taking time or sacrificing some things that may be distractions that maybe you're clinging onto to keep yourself from doing this might also be a cause as well. Maybe you're being distracted by Netflix and chill, or, just not allowing yourself to do the work. But I do see that if you take the time, you will have a positive transformation come forward for you. Movement, choices, and decisions. This almost looks like you're making excuses a little bit. Yeah, they're really calling on you to do a spiritual union. Fertility doesn't necessarily mean actual children. It could be birth of new ideas. It could be creative. I almost get the feeling from this of, well, I don't really want to do it, so I'm going to come up with any excuse I can think of not to actually do the work and go ahead and do that. And, that's well within your rights, but keep in mind that not going through with shadow work, especially when you're feeling called to do it, can actually hurt you in the long run. And you have to make the conscious choice to set aside time to allow yourself to start working on it. I do see that you can have positive movement forward. Yeah, obstacles and challenges. So yeah, it seems a lot of the real world stuff is getting in the way, whether it be conscious choice or real world responsibilities. And all of that can really affect your ability to objectively delve into shadow work and start that journey and process. So I get the feeling from this reading, these cards are trying to dissuade your fears a bit and let you know that it's going to be okay. So if you are not doing it because you're afraid of the process or intimidated, that everything's going to be okay in the long run. It's just going to take time to get there. Just breaking up the cards a bit. There we go. For the next group. And grab the Moonology deck. What do you have to say to group 1? Sorry if I'm a bit quiet tonight. It's late. I'm a little tired. But when this package came, I really wanted to delve into things and see what comes forward. I have noticed that a lot of these cards have very strong Egyptian energy to them, and yeah. So if you're somebody who follows the Egyptian pantheon and you're looking for a set of oracle cards to kind of coincide with that, this might be a good one. I don't know if you can see the man right there. I think it's a man. Show the world the real you. So it could very well even be that you're hiding yourself. You're afraid of what other people will think going through this process. Who will you become on the other side of it? I get that fear feeling in this reading a lot. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so what I'm saying may not entirely resonate for you. But the shadow work is a very transformative process, and it can't drastically change things in your life and change you in many ways. And some people are afraid to let go of what they know because what can become is so uncertain. So I get the feeling that this is very much you're afraid of what people will think of you should you go through this process and transform into becoming more one with yourself. With that spiritual union card, it's very much a union of mind, body, spirit, and the shadow work process seeks to unify those aspects. Yeah. Then nothing will come of the situation. I get very strongly is completely about putting it off, ignoring the call to do it, that nothing good will come by doing that. you're really being summoned and called to start this process. Confidence is your key to success. So have faith in yourself. That's kind of like a reassurance that yes, this is a lot fear-based mentality. Try holding on to the knowledge that going through shadow work, although it's very, excuse me, transformative, and it seeks to bring shifts and changes into your life, that you wouldn't be being called to do this if it wasn't something that was going to elevate you to your highest good. And I know I said in my shadow work video, which I'll link somewhere up here, or actually I'll probably link it in the first section, that going through shadow work means that many times you lose relationships, you may lose friends, you may lose family, all of that kind of stuff. But try to keep in mind that the only people you're going to lose are those who are not for your highest good. If there are people who have maybe hidden agenda, secret intentions, you know, they're all about themselves and not about reciprocity and being there for you should you need them to be, those are the kinds of people you're going to lose. You're not going to lose the people who are there for you and who have your back. So if you are afraid to start delving into this process because you are afraid of losing friends, losing loved ones, you know, people that you care about, keep in mind that if these are people who leave, they are people who weren't really there for your best improvement. And they are people who weren't going to really have your back through this. So you really need to take the time to start slowly delving into this process. Keep in mind it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And by slowly working into it, even if you dedicate 1 hour a night, you don't have to do this for hours upon hours every single day. Dedicate an hour each day. Start off by journaling things. Start off by meditating and allowing yourself to open up to releasing the things that no longer serve you, or allow yourself to reconnect with your higher self and your higher being. Each of those things is a step in the right direction. Okay? That one doesn't fit. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to pull more or not. Okay, so let me bring out the Sacred Traveler deck. And then I think I'll use the Crystal Spirits deck. What do you have to say to group 1? I'm hoping I'll be able to shuffle the Crystal Spirits deck. We'll see. Rejuvenating rain. Clear the past, heal the present. See, you really are being called to do this. Great adventure. Take a risk, venture forward. Voyage of the heart. Love flows through you and to you. And I'm feeling two more. See? Answering the call. The time is now. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. So this is definitely, you are definitely being called to work on your shadow work. You are definitely being summoned to do this. And the universe is telling you no more excuses. No more. Don't put it off any longer. Don't say, well, maybe next month. Well, maybe later. Well, maybe when this situation improves. No. Start it now. Even if you can't do an hour, start with 15 minutes. Start slowly. Start building into it. Allow yourself to start really channeling these things and working through past situations so that you can start healing and start that journey to reconnecting your sense of self. So I'm going to use the Crystal Spirits card real quick to see if there is a specific crystal that can help you through this. Okay? Wish me luck. I have not shuffled these before. I don't remember what kind of paper they use. Okay. Not too bad. I should be able to shuffle these. Whoop. Let's see. What Crystal Spirit would like to help group one? Oop. I lost my grip. Sorry. What Crystal Spirit would like to help group one? Just show me one. One. I know I'm gonna butcher the name of it. Agrin. Let's see. It's actually card number 1. Integrity, solidarity, impeccability, reliability, and consistency. That makes sense. Although we are always evolving, we all possess deeply held values that we do not have to compromise. Your personal integrity matters, so if you're feeling pressured to say yes when your heart says no, or to be something you're not, listen to the message Aegrin Spirit brings you. Now is the time to remember the importance of being reliable and impeccable with your word. If you really wanted to say no, don't say yes for now and try to correct your mistake later. People may struggle to accept your truth and your decisions, but stick to them. Be solid and consistent, because what matters to you deep down matters to the conscious universe who loves you. If you are feeling unsure, doubting whether you have a right to take a stand, become still and reconnect with the conscious universe through this crystal. It's not your job to protect everyone's feelings and keep the peace at all costs. You don't have to rush about smoothing everything over. Be at peace as you stand firm, for your deepest values are in sync with your purpose, and the conscious universe wants you to feel and be strong right now. Well, if that wasn't confirmation of everything I just said, I don't know what is. So yeah, definitely start working on it now. Don't let people stop you. Don't let people, tell you, well, you have all these other responsibilities and you need to focus on these other things. No, the only person that you need to focus on, beyond if you have children, is yourself. I'm not saying that they are not, other people aren't important. They are. But there are times in your life where you have to stand up and say, now is a time that I have to be somewhat selfish and take care of me, because that is the only way that I'm going to start getting better. And this is one of those times. Okay? So I hope this has helped in some way. If you haven't done so already, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting like, subscribe, comment down below, and set the bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. And with all of that said, I wish you the best of luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I will do my best to help. Okay, Group 2, Herkimer Diamond, this is your reading. Let's see, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to doing shadow work? Sacrifice. So perhaps you're having difficulty finding the time to do it. Letting go of things that maybe you're using as a distraction. Let's see what the Bull Spirit says. Because these are a new deck, I figure it doesn't hurt to look them up. Oh, wrong one. I thought it said 10, but it's 40. Big difference. Okay, Bull. All worthwhile things mean you must sacrifice something. Martyrdom is rarely a good choice, but is... No, sorry. Martyrdom rarely is a good choice. It is good to trust your tribe. Have faith that all will be well. Reciprocity and offering to something bigger than you is a powerful act. So with this, it seems as though you are afraid to potentially sacrifice connections or talking to people, or you're afraid to lose connections with people. Keep in mind that, ironically, I just said this in a previous group. I know I've mentioned in the shadow work video, and if you haven't watched it yet, I will link it in the beginning of this video, that in that video I did mention that when you do shadow work, it is highly likely that you will lose people in your life. You will lose friends. People won't really understand. People won't really get you. But I want to give you some reassurance that the people that you may lose tend to be people who are looking out mainly for themselves and don't really, honestly, at the end of the day, care enough about you to be worthwhile keeping in your life. They tend to be more focused. They tend to be more selfish. What do you have to say to Group 2? And they just really tend to not really be people you want to keep in your life, because they are going to be the type of people who are only going to be focused on themselves. And you want to build relationships and build a community where people are not just going to be looking out for themselves, but have your back and reciprocate if you are particularly someone who is going to be there for them. And that is the card. I know you can't really see sacrifice. It's like written in tiny, tiny font right above where it says bowl. But let's see. Harmony. So if you're afraid to start this because you're afraid you're going to lose connections. Yeah, they're trying. Funny how you had 2 chakra cards show up. Solar plexus chakra. Crown chakra is all about intuition. Let me look up solar plexus because I always get the lower chakras confused. I don't know why, but I always do. Let's see. Okay, so solar plexus, it has the keywords I can. The solar plexus chakra is located between the navel area, just below the rib cage. It represents power, vitality, willpower, self-esteem, and confidence. The energy center where your emotions and feelings are recorded. This chakra is associated with clairsentience, or inner feeling, which is the major psychic reception area. To balance the chakra, you may want to try yoga, dance, and movement, or breath work with color, which the color for this chakra is yellow. In addition, be aware of people who drain your energy. Workshops and classes that focus on empowerment will help you open and harmonize this area. Obviously something that you can't really do right now. But I'm seeing here, with Love Begins, I get more focused on self-love, not necessarily love with another person. You are being called to do this because even though you may lose people who are not for your benefit, it is going to restore balance, self-love, and bring harmony more with those who are meant to be in your life. Spiritual union. Ironically, that one came up for the last card as well. Prosperity begins. Base chakra. So you may have a lot of chakral blockages. When it comes to doing shadow work, many times doing meditation helps you release areas that maybe you've been keeping buried down deep that you may not be aware that you have been. I am just seeing that you have a lot of chakral blockage and imbalance, and it's affecting your ability to do your shadow work. Ironically, with when it comes to a good way to visualize opening your chakras and everything, one of the best ways out there and you can find it on YouTube, is somebody recorded a portion of the cartoon called Avatar: The Last Airbender. And all you have to do is type in Avatar: The Last Airbender chakras, and it should come up somewhere, because I know it's out there on YouTube. I've seen it. And in that clip, it actually talks about and helps visualize opening each chakra, why it's important, what it affects, and how to do so. And with this being the sacrifice card, I am very much getting the fear of losing connections. as being your main obstacle when it comes to completing this. But with spiritual union, it really does feel as though you're being called to do this and realign yourself and allow yourself to open back up and focus on these things that are important for you to do so that you can become whole. If this were an actual love reading, I would say, ooh, love begins in spiritual union. But where I'm talking about shadow work here, shadow work's main focus is loving yourself and reunifying your dark side and your light side. So let's see what the Moonology deck has to say to group 2. Two more. One more. You're very close to achieving your goal. Confidence is your key to success, which ironically came up for the group before yours, so it does feel like fear is playing a big key. A new romantic cycle begins. Again, I feel this has to do with self-love, not a love external from yourself. Main focus with shadow work is reconnecting and falling back in love with who you are. Work through your fears, see? Bring love into the situation. The biggest lesson that we have to learn in life is outside people are not who we should majorly be focusing on. I don't remember exactly which video it was that I said this in, but keep in mind that you are the only person that you are with all of your life. And that, you know, the energy we give to everybody else, the energy we give to all these other people, should not be your primary focus, especially not right now. And that's the biggest lesson to learn while doing shadow work, is it's not up to outside people to fulfill us, it's up to ourselves. And the only way that we can find that self-love and that self-acceptance is by delving into parts of ourselves that we may not have really focused on healing before. And that is a huge critical step to regaining a sense of self, and opening ourselves back up to loving ourselves. And one of the biggest things and misnomers about, loving and accepting yourself as you are for who you are, that doesn't mean that there aren't aspects that you don't wish or may want to change. There absolutely can, and it's okay that if there are some. But that doesn't mean that you can't love and accept yourself for who and how you are while you're in the process of doing that as well, Loving and accepting yourself as you are for who you are in this time and space does not eradicate the capacity for self-improvement. It just means that you're being a little bit kinder to yourself than maybe you have been in the past. 2. I'm going to see what the Sacred Traveler deck has to say. And then I'm going to use the Crystal Spirits cards to see what, if any, crystals may assist you in this journey. Okay? Do you have to see the 2? Unknown territory, you are exactly where you need to be. Faraway places, get ready for new horizons. Ascending the mountain, keep going forward. Crossing bridges, it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Valiant courage, take action with passion. So yeah, you're definitely being called to do this and start working on this process and to enter it having some comfort and knowledge that it's the right thing to do for yourself. It's going to allow yourself to find healing and peace. And one of the biggest signs that you may need to do shadow work is if you wake up one day and you look in the mirror and you say, this is not who I am, I'm not happy with who I've become. That usually is a big indicator that there's things that you need to personally work on and heal from. What crystal wants to help group 4? Wants to help group 4. Amethyst. So let's see what Amethyst has to say to you. It's card 4. Familiarity, unconscious habits, old patterns in need of being released. Autopilot takes over when we require a rest from mental overload. While this reaction can serve us well, Amethyst spirit brings a reminder to stop surrendering to the familiar. Be mindfully present to the now and examine your habits. Are they working for you the way that you want them to? Are you overdue for a new routine? Perhaps a small, simple shift can make a huge difference. What could you say more often to those you love, or do more often to nurture yourself when your go-to is to sacrifice for others? Sacrifice card. What habits could you begin to develop today to build your security and increase your prosperity? Can you see how the old habits these replace should have been discarded long ago? Amethyst Spirit's message to you is to be conscious of your habits so that you don't fall asleep to your potential for transformation and healing. You deserve so much more than you have right now. So awaken to your ability to co-create a new, one replaced habit at a time. So, if you have a piece of amethyst or want a piece of amethyst to help you with this, you can readily find pieces of them on Amazon if you can't get to a local store with crystals as well. So I hope this guidance has helped you or resonated with you in some way. If you wouldn't mind, before you leave, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind subscribing, sharing, commenting down below, setting that bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I will do my absolute best to assist you. And with that, I wish you brightest blessings and blessed be. Okay, Amethyst, here is your reading. This is an amethyst obelisk that I have. So let's see what is... I just lost it. Sorry. What is your challenge when it comes to shadow work? You've got the Tiger Spirit, which stands for will. And it looks like you have Kuan Yin as the goddess associated with this card. So let's see what the Tiger Spirit has to say. Card number's 34. Exercise your will and determination in ethical ways. Do not place your will over others. You do not have control over anyone but yourself. Do not be afraid to be fierce, especially as women. We can ride our healthy anger, but we must eventually transform it into something more useful. So perhaps something that's acting as a challenge for you to start the process of your shadow work is anger, resentment. So let's see. Just move this over to the side. What do you have to say to group 3? Sorry, that was my bad. That was me. That was not the cards. Ugh. There we go. You have to see group 3. After each person, I mix back in the cards from the previous person and put them in random spaces in the deck so that if they come up again for the next person, they do so of their own volition. Okay. Let's see. Deception and envy. Awareness. Accelerated motion. Rejoice in celebration. The waiting game. I do definitely get the feeling like there's some anger issues coinciding with this. Maybe it's with a person or people who you feel have lied to you, betrayed you, hurt you in some way. Maybe you're waiting to see some sort of karmic justice happen to them. Maybe your anger is fueling you and keeping you going right now, and you don't want to let it go yet. I had to chuckle because it kind of reminds me of my best friend a little bit. Once you do her wrong, she holds it forever. But, whatever this top thing is, you are aware of it. Keep in mind that when we forgive and when we do shadow work and we let things go, we don't do it for other people, we do it for ourselves. Let's see. Foundation and achievements. Sacral chakra, you may have to do chakra work. Hope. Now keep in mind this is a general reading, so if this is you and anger is the thing that's keeping you from doing your shadow work right now, I do get the feeling like you will eventually see this person get some sort of comeuppance in some way. I don't know if it's going to be right away. I don't think so. So starting your shadow work process is going to help you while you wait for their karmic justice to come whack them over the head for whatever it is. I do see that you starting this process is going to set up for a positive future to come your way. Yeah, you're getting a lot of sacral chakra. Sacrifice, I get more of the feeling of let it go. And so Disney doesn't ding my channel in any way. I'm not going to sing it, but I think you know. Just look it up, man. It's from Frozen, the first movie. Let it go for now. There's nothing saying that you can't still be upset, you can't still be hurt, or you can't still want justice, but for your own self, your own peace of mind, and so that you can start healing from even other things that don't pertain to this situation. It's important to let it drop for now and focus on other things that are going to be better for your mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, and allow you to heal from damaging things in the past so that you can move forward and heal your spirit. Let's see what the next deck has to say. Sorry, I'm using a few decks tonight. What do you have to say to group 2? Don't let your past hold you back. So it could even be something in your past that you're angry and holding on to. But healing isn't for them, it's for you. You know, that card has come up for every group tonight. Luck is on your side. Yeah, you're going to see them get some sort of karmic justice. Maybe you're feeling afraid to let it go. Maybe it's something you've held on to for so long that you can't imagine your life without holding on to that anger, that hatred of that person. But have faith in yourself that you will become and be a happier person in doing so. And letting go isn't for them, it's for you. I know I've been saying that a few times already tonight, but I'm going to keep saying it. Let's see what the Sacred Traveler says. I hope you don't mind watching me shuffle. I tend to prefer doing it this way to show you guys that whatever comes up does so of its own volition. And after this deck, I will pull one Crystal Spirit card to see what crystal can help you in this process. Okay? Okay, let's see here. Overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. First light, beginning a new cycle. Watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. Gates of triumph, success expands into your life. So, you're definitely being called upon to take the more meditative route, I think, with this. You got two cards saying rest, relax, rejuvenate, release. And I have a feeling that meditation is going to help you the most when it comes to opening yourself up to spirit and allowing yourself to channel divine energy into releasing things that no longer serve you. So let's see what Crystal Spirit wants to assist you on your path to shadow work. Just one card, please. Cards are being demanding for extra shuffling tonight for some reason. I guess we'll find out why. Which Crystal Spirit wants to help? Group 3. Sunstone. Let's see, it's card 55. Sunstone, freedom, breaking through obstacles, the power to overcome limitations, knowing you can do it. Any of us can become so used to being restricted that when we have the potential to move beyond limitations, we stare in disbelief at the open door of the cage that has held us in captivity for far too long. Which is exactly what anger is. It's a cage. Have you succumbed to the illusion of scarcity consciousness, inaccurately seeing yourself as stuck in old patterns, telling yourself that the situation is the same as it's always been, when in truth it has begun to shift? Sunstone Spirit's message is that the door really is open, and opportunities await you as you claim your freedom. You have the power to break through barriers. The parameters of your life are not what you thought they were. So much more is available to you than you imagined. So believe in your freedom, spread your wings, and fly. You can do it. The Sunstone Spirit is here to strengthen your resolve, to leave that cage far behind you as you drink in the pleasure of being free and ready to live in a new way. You can choose from an array of opportunities the conscious universe has made available to you. So let go and be liberated. The conscious universe will help you avoid pitfalls and wrong turns that will wind you back around to the same old, same old. Simply enjoy this shift. Now is your time to experience the thrill of exhilarating freedom. So yes. Let go of things that no longer serve you and allow yourself to do so. So I hope this reading has given you some guidance and some assistance in this matter. Before you go, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions, and set that bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. And until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and blessed be. Okay, Group 4, here's your guidance on what is preventing you from delving further into your shadow work and rainbow moonstone. So let's see. You have the wolf spirit with authenticity. So it could very well be that you are, whoops, in some way misleading yourself, that maybe you don't feel like you need to do shadow work. Maybe you're thinking, I'm healed, I'm good, all is well. I don't need to do any shadow work, everything's fine. But we shall see. What do you have to say to group 4? And I will be using 4 decks. The first one is to determine the energy. Moonology is to give you any sort of, and Sacred Traveler will be to give you any sort of additional guidance that you may need. And the last one is the crystal spirits, that I will determine if there is a crystal that can help you during this process. And yay, I'm getting a second wind. Last reading I've been sitting here and like, oh man, I don't know if I can do the 4th one, but I can do it. Only because it's late at night and I've been getting pretty tired. Actually, before I divvy out these cards, I'm going to read off the wolf spirit, see what it says. But before I divvy them out, I will read it. Okay. Only because I want to see if it aligns with what comes up. 17. Too far. Authenticity. Discover who you really are by revealing your authenticity. There is always the best way. We all resonate a frequency. So if you are pretending to be someone you are not, hang on a sec. We all resonate a frequency. So if you are pretending to be someone you are not, you will keep attracting people with whom you do not resonate. Okay, there we go. It is necessary to negotiate a position with the others sometimes, and there should be no anxiety about differences in opinion. But I get the feeling with this that has to do with more, maybe you feel you are already your authentic self, or somehow don't really feel like you need to do any kind of shadow work. So let us see. Foundation and achievements. New beginnings. Awareness. Yeah, I get the feeling that awareness may be your struggle. Memories of love. Solitude. So I get the feeling that meditation will help you delve into whether or not shadow work is something, please do forgive me, that is beneficial to you at this time. It could very well be that you're not meant to do it quite yet, but you will only be able to determine that by doing some sort of meditation. There is some sort of new beginning shift that is coming. Yeah, patience. So it could very well be that shadow work is not on the immediate focus that you need to do. Material harvest. fulfillment of wishes, balance. You do have to do some sort of balancing in destiny. Okay. It does seem like there's some sort of divine timing coming into play with regards to your shadow work. You do have some sort of shift coming up, especially with the new beginning card. I do definitely sense that doing some form of meditation will assist you at this time. Even if you're not meant to do shadow work right now, it will still be something that's going to assist you. I suddenly have a song from Frozen 2 stuck in my head. Jeez. My own fault. I mentioned Frozen 1 in the group before yours. I'm only putting away the deck because I know I don't need it again after yours. So let me grab the Moonology deck. See what it has to say. What do you have to say to group 4? This could also mean that you have already been on this path and working more towards unifying with your authentic self. It's also a possibility. Suddenly the second wind is escaping me again. So what do you have to say to group 4? Okay. Prosperity lies ahead. A time for healing. What do you need to release? So there are some things that you need to release. And there are some healing that you need to do. So it could very well be that with everything that the cards that I brought up before have to do with things that you're focusing on right now. But do know that you are going to have to do some sort of shadow work. And there are some things you have to release and work on healing. Bring love into the situation. It's about self-love. Take time to breathe out. So it could very well be that the reason why you're not feeling like it's necessarily time for you to do shadow work is because you weren't allowing yourself the time to even attempt it right now. Sorry, it's dry in here. I needed some water. But you definitely need to in some way. I think that's why I kept hearing meditate, meditate, meditate for you. This group, I'm getting very much the feeling of a very busy mind, meaning that you're focused on many things at once. And you just don't see how you can have the time, or, you know. But when it comes to self-healing and stuff, you have to make the time. Even if you start off slow, if it's 15-20 minutes a day, to meditate or to journal or do something to start the process. my bad. Let's try that one more time. One more. Okay. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Surrendering to the, release control. I knew there was a reason why I had this sense of, somebody very busy. Busy all the time, busy all the time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have, focusing on everything around you except yourself. And this is definitely telling you, let it go. Tread thoughtfully. Journey by moonlight, believe in magic. So definitely, I get the feeling very strongly from this with regards to meditation. Valiant courage, take action with passion. Grace and gratitude, through gratitude, joy expands. Navigating the stars, follow your bliss. And watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. Stop allowing yourself to be distracted by outside things so much. You need to focus on your own healing. I just need one card from Crystal Spirits. One card. One card. Oop. The one that flipped up is the one I'll give you. It's black tourmaline. So let's see what comes up. Healthy boundaries, repelling and dispelling unwanted energy, shielding and protection, healthy independence. There is a saying that good fences make good neighbors. Well-being likewise requires healthy boundaries and that respect everyone's uniqueness, similarities, and differences. The appearance of black tourmaline spirit is a sign that now is the time to make sure those fences are neither impenetrable walls nor so porous and broken that you start to lose track of where you end and others begin. It's invigorating to move between alone time and together time. Maybe you need to be with some extroverts for a while, or maybe you need a long evening alone with a good book, which I get is more the feeling for this group. If you've been feeling tired lately, pay attention to whether you're neglecting yourself at some level, giving too much, suffering from empathy overload, or depending too much on someone else and crowding them. You may need some downtime to remind you that you are a human being, not a human doing. You do not have to earn love through perpetual self-sacrifice, nor do you have to feel overwhelmed and needy. Healthy boundaries mean leaning on others in a balanced way. And black tourmaline spirit is here to nudge you to be mindful of when you need time to yourself and when you need to be among those who accept you exactly as you are. So I hope this reading has resonated with you, and I hope it's been helpful and beneficial. And before you leave, I really would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you need any additional assistance or if you have any questions, and be sure to set that bell to all to be notified of any time I release new videos. And with that, until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and blessed be.